It is a new dawn in Warner Brothers and DC over here with Superman, the newest iteration. The first movie from DC Studios, a new segment from Peter Safran and James Gunn. And I'll tell you, first off, I'm just gonna give you my impression of the movie, my thoughts on the movie, my experience. Was it worth my dollars that I just went and got out of the theaters? First off, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was a good time, solid entertainment, solid CG, solid cinematography. Like, we're so used to this bull crap static shooting that finally when we get some movement, when we get some cinematography, it looks fantastic. And I had a great time watching it. And I'm very paranoid about being shut down again, so we'll see what happens. But I had a great time. It was really great. I liked it a lot. I think it's definitely a great start. It definitely throws you right into the fire. You know, it says at the very beginning it has some typography and it plays with the number 3 a lot. So it says like 300 years ago, metahumans were kind of discovered and it was a new dawn for humans, monsters, and gods. And then it says like 30 years ago, alien landed on Earth, that kind of thing. And then 3 years ago, he revealed himself to be Superman. And then 3 hours ago, that happened, so on and so forth. So it plays with the number 3 a lot. I'm not sure what they're doing with that, but it has to do maybe with, like, I don't know if it's a Jesus allegory once again. It's not so much as like Zack Snyder. I keep looking over because security is watching, so we're probably gonna get shut down right now. This always happens, doesn't it? This always happens.
We're happy.
Yeah, all good. All right. Superman review.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, man. Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Was it good? You like it?
I liked it, yeah. It was, I don't know about $35 worth, but it was good. I appreciate it, thank you. Okay, so where were we?
No spoilers, was it good?
I liked it.
I really want to see it.
I liked it. I mean, if you like James Gunn movies,
I do, yeah.
you're gonna like it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I need it. I need it.
Yeah, you need a win. This ain't Marvel anymore. Peace out, guys. Thank you. All right, they're chill. So we got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get the out of here. Okay. So let's go 5 minutes unspoilers. I liked the movie a lot. I think the graphics were phenomenal. The camera choices was really insane. The amount of movement. I liked the amount of movement. I liked the camera moving all over the place. It wasn't as flat as I thought it was, but there is a lot of light leak that's happening. So lots of really bright shining lights on there. And I think it has to do with an allegory almost to the sun, with like bright light and how important our yellow sun is to Superman. So I really appreciated that. What I found too is that there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of heart in here with David Cornsweet, with Lois, and with him really being confused. You know, he feels like his mission here, not to spoil anything, is to help humanity. That's his whole mission. And of course there's some, you know, I'm not even gonna talk about the controversy because it's really a non-thing in this movie. It's a non-thing. But what happens though is, he is here to help people. That's his whole thing. He's here to help, he's here to save, he's here to do anything he can for the betterment of humanity. And I really like that. It feels good to have a hero once again in superheroes. You know, everyone's kind of out for themselves, that kind of thing. And then finally, this dude is the golden boy. He is the golden boy of DC. You know, there's Bat, and then there's him. I'm a huge Batman fan, so this movie had a lot to sell me on. And yeah, I liked him being a hero. I liked him being confused that he saved people's lives and that it was the technically wrong thing to do in the political realm. So that part, I really liked that little beginning of conflict, that 10-minute interview scene that they talked about. It does shine a light on that and how he is. It really is a focus on who is this Lois Lane? Who is, you know, this Clark Kent? Lois Lane is inquisitive, and there's a little bit of James Gunn showing through here when they talk about Lois Lane being punk rock, and then Clark Kent, of course, being the freaking Boy Scout, thinks he's punk rock, but then he really isn't. He's actually like following the lead, but he thinks of himself as, you know, a little bit of punk rock. And I like that a lot. I like that scene because, again, it sets up the dynamic of who Clark Kent is and who Lois Lane is. And from then on, you know his motives, his motivation, and at the very beginning, too, you see the message from his parents while he's in the Fortress of Solitude. I guess spoilers. But that's his whole goal. He's to be, you know, helping as much as he can. I think Mr. Terrific, He is good. You can kind of tell from the trailers that he is going to get the one-shot action scene from the camera swirling around. I think he was a great character. I liked him a lot. He does get a really good showpiece later on in the movie. Not really spoilers, but he does a great job. I think he's terrific. It was a lot of James Gunn in this movie. Really, if you like James Gunn movies, you're going to like this movie. If you don't like James Gunn movies, you may not like it, because there's a lot of him in here. Especially, like I said, the punk rock, dynamics, the punk rock speech, conversation. That's totally James Gunn, seems totally in his realm. Music choices, I really did enjoy the soundtrack. The soundtrack is very heroic, very call back to, 70s, of course, with Christopher Reeves. And then it's just being heroic. It's a very emotional, he is here to save us. He is here to help us. And that's really the entire thing. And I liked it a lot. The parts with, you see it in the trailer, the parts with Pa and Ma Kent, they are Kansas as hell. They are Kansas as hell. This is probably the most Kansas you've seen Ma and Pa Kent ever. And really, it's actually a really good time. There's a lot of heart in there, and you can tell that they are very caring people. And again, that's kind of where I wish we had more of that. That's one thing I wish. I wish we had more interactions with Ma and Pa Kent, but the ending really does bring it all together of who they are and that kind of thing, and who he thinks he is as a human being. Lex Luthor is a piece of shit. He is downright evil dude. He talks about his motivations, and you know that he is going to not stop until Superman is done, until he is gone. And he tells you flat out his motivations and that he can do whatever he wants. And I like that. He is a bad dude. He is someone who needs to be stopped. He is hurting people. He's hurting, metahumans, normal humans. He's hurting a bunch of people just for his own selfish greed. And they talk about being envious. It does have a lot to do with envy. He sees himself, which I dig. Lex Luthor is always the peak of humanity. He is supposed to be the smartest, strongest, that kind of thing. He keeps himself in physically fit form. He thinks himself as the peak alpha male, basically, or even a sigma male. And I don't know how I liked the comedic elements of it. I felt that was too much James Gunny in there, but I really did enjoy Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Another thing, Krypto. If you like dogs, you're going to love Krypto, and you will see why Krypto acts the way that he is. He's definitely not of this world. I'll just say that. I don't want to spoil anything. But you see that relationship between them and why Krypto is so important to Superman. I mean, he is family. He is from Krypton. He is the last being from Krypton, and he feels that's very important. That's all I liked. Like I said, the CG, the action's awesome. I think the action is phenomenal. If everything follows really well, like I said, the movement of the camera follows the action. I really dig it. Really awesome take on all the action. I felt like every single punch, and really inventive ways to try to defeat Superman from the bad guys. Really inventive ways. They've tried basically everything to try to defeat Superman, including brute force, which you see with Ultraman. I say, man, I don't know how much of a price I would put on this. I paid $35 for an IMAX screen, and it was beautiful. It was filmed for IMAX. It was a huge, the entire screen was filled the entire time with the 70-foot IMAX screen here at the Irvine Spectrum. And yeah, it was just a great time. It looked phenomenal on that screen. A little bit of dim sometimes, and I don't know if I don't think it was film. It's definitely laser or whatever it's projected on, digital projection. But $35, $33 is how much I paid for this screening. That's a lot. I would say if you're a big James Gunn fan, definitely run out to the theaters. If you're interested in a brand new superhero comic book world, this movie is comic book as hell. You're going to see references from a bunch of comics. I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I'm sure that a bunch of people are going to be like, oh, that's from this, that's from that kind of thing. And if you're ready for another comic book universe that is actually setting the stage for some really cool stuff, I would jump into this. It's very exciting. It's brand new. We have a brand new universe, and they're investing in it. There's a lot here. There is a lot here. A lot of world built in this one movie. It may be overwhelming, but I think it was a good time. If you read comic books, you're gonna fall in pretty quickly. Again, it has lots of James Gunn humor, so if you're not digging James Gunn, then you're not gonna enjoy it. But yeah, that's really my review. That's spoiler free. I have 1 minute left. So maybe we will record the spoilers at a different location, but I gotta pack this shit up because these security gentlemen were very kind to give me 10 minutes, and that was 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna pack it up. And we're back, safe and sound. So this is actually the portion of the review that I wanted to talk about some negatives, because I do have some negatives with the movie. And I also want to talk about the characters, because that's the most important thing to me. If you don't have buy-in on the characters, you don't have buy-in on the story. The negatives, first off, the humor. The humor is very Guardians of the Galaxy, very James Gunn. So I can imagine, I can see a lot of Superman fans not enjoying this movie. If you are a diehard Superman comic book fan, you will not like the movie, in my opinion. I don't think this is your Superman. I don't think this is comic book accurate Superman. This may have tints of it and hints of it, but this is a new Superman. This is a new version, new telling of Superman, and the humor is a part of that. He isn't like a slapstick, jokey joke type of person, not really. The stuff that he says, it doesn't seem like the Superman that at least I know of. He calls Crypto dude, he says dude, and you know, maybe Buddy. I can imagine like Buddy, imagine him being like an older, you know, maybe Southern boy talking stuff like that. But him saying dude, it seemed too common, too city for it, especially from a dude from Smallville. I don't know, maybe he hides it. But again, I like this Superman a lot. He is very heartfelt. He is just trying to be a good guy. He's trying to be what his parents wanted him to be. And that is just a hopeful, jolly, life-saving guy. And I think that's phenomenal. And like I said before, the conflict that he has with Lois, it's understandable. It's understandably confusing. But at the same time, he has been on Earth for 30 years, so he should know a little thing or two about humans and everything. That there's some parts where David Cornsweet, he has like this good boy, like, I don't know, like a golden boy charm. It really is like a golden boy charm, like pretty innocent, you know, pretty meaningful, heartfelt, good. I don't know. He wants to be good. And that's the whole point of the story, is to be a good human, be a good man. And that part is great. But another negative is, I mean, the humor. Good God. Like I said, the humor is all over the place. There's nonstop humor. There is heartfelt moments for sure. And that's one thing that James Gunn does well, is he's able to intertwine these almost slapstick comedy parts with some really heartfelt moments, like with Ma and Pa Kent, like with another creature who is quite small, you'll see in the movie. But that is, I think it draws it back. It takes it back. The next part that's not good is the amount of characters. Holy crap, there are so many characters in this movie. I was not able to catch half the people at the Daily Planet. I wasn't, like, you know who the Justice Gang are, because they're basically co-leads. I think the Justice Gang, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, they're basically co-leads of this movie, more so than it is a Superman movie. I wanted more Superman screen time. I wanted more Superman story. But they have the Justice Gang basically working alongside him because they've been at it for a while now. They've been at it for a little bit, and Superman just came onto the scene, 3 years ago or something like that he revealed himself to the world. So they know each other already. They have past relationships, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. And then not to mention everybody at the Daily Planet. There's Jimmy Olsen. There's, oh my gosh, Perry, who's basically, his character is, I'm chewing on a cigar. You don't get anything else besides that. And then the blonde chick, no idea who she is. And then this other dude, no idea who he is. So again, I'm not a Superman reader. I'm not a Superman big fan. I'm sure someone out there is going to know who these people are. But I'm telling you that they're just in this movie just so they can be in one conversation, or maybe even look hot. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they're setting them up for the next phase. Hawkgirl, I think, is a very big negative for me. She is probably the least characterized of the Justice Gang. She just seems like a nothing, I don't give a shit about anything teenager. She seems like a whatever teenager. And I know that she's basically like a reincarnated demigod, basically. But she plays it like a nonchalant teen or early 20s person. And there's really nothing to that character at all. Really not much to that character. Guy Gardner at least has some characterization. And Mr. Terrific has a huge portion of the movie. I guess spoilers, but he's a big part of the movie. And I liked him a lot. And there's a reason I liked him and Guy Gardner more, is because we got more time with them. And there wasn't much for Isabella Merced to do, really. But hey, people like her, so awesome. So that was a negative for me. The plot of Lex, the entire plan of Lex, was kind of dumb, in my opinion. And I think the amount of humor that Lex has, like I said before, is a negative for me as well. The CG in some portions there's so much CG. I cannot imagine how much this movie cost. You know, supposedly it's like $200 something million. Sure. I'm sure it's more like 350 or more. So they got to make a lot of money. I mean, that's just speculation that I've seen, but considering the amount of shots that they had to do on here, I wouldn't be surprised by how much they had to do. So it could be upwards of $400 million. And it's a very expensive movie, but the whole point of this movie is to kick off the entire franchise. So it's a lot of CG, and not all of it works. There is some stuff that doesn't work, and just the humor and like the James Gunn jokes, it has him written all over it. And you know, I haven't seen Peacemaker, but I heard that his jokes works for that world, but to me it didn't work for Superman. It wasn't, it had moments of earnesty, of being earnest, but it felt like too playful still. I don't know. It wasn't earnest enough, maybe. I wish we had more time with Lois and Clark. Wish we had more time with Lois and Clark. That relationship is kind of not built out. I think they tried to use that 10-minute interview scene as the explanation of their relationship and who she is and who he is. But at the same time, I wanted more chemistry between them. And it was playful, for sure. It was very early. I believe they're 3 months into a relationship. So very early into a relationship. And she's almost like a tragic workaholic. That's the kind of character that she is. She's a punk rock, tragic workaholic. Kinda. And she's not able to get past the job. She wants to do the job. And I guess that's Lois. You know, I guess that's Lois to a point. Jimmy is the ladies' man. So that's basically his characterization. Like I said with Lex, I wish he was less comedic. He is threatening in some portions, and that's the other portion is there is loss of life. There's a loss of life, and it is kind of brushed aside very quickly. The pace of this movie is breakneck. There is so much stuff they stuff into this movie. It's so fast-paced. The only time that it is slow is that 10-minute conversation, is that 10-minute interview. And that's not that it's slow, it's just like that's a normal conversation versus everything else is action, 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 move, 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 action, move, action, action, move, move. That's how it felt. The entire movie, it's nonstop. It felt like it was too much for what it needed to do. It could have been very simple, but I think that they feared being very simple and going the Brandon Routh version of a simple story. I think they had a fear of that and it not working. So they just wanted to jump right into the middle of it, and that we're in this world. This world exists. These people exist. There's already a Justice Gang. There's already the Green Lantern. There's already this. And now we have a Superman. And he's like revealed himself to the world and he just made a boo-boo. So it's almost like you have a long-running Superman book, right? And then you just got the new book and then you open it and that's where it starts. That's kind of what it's like. This world exists. Here we are in the story. I think it's called In Vitra Mess, In Vitra Vest or something like that. Let me know in the comments down below the term when you go right into the story, into the middle of the action. But yeah, there is definitely some negatives. If you're a Superman fan, you may not like it. If you're a James Gunn fan, you're up Normal Street. You're gonna dig it a lot. But for the old school fans, you may not like this. You may not like this universe. As I said in the portion, I had a good time with it. I am ready for a new universe. I'm curious where we're gonna go. I'm getting a little bit tired of the James Gunn humor, so I'm hoping that they can peel it back a little bit, but I have a fear that they're not going to. But that's it for this review. Let me know your thoughts of the Superman movie down below in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? Why not? Let's have a conversation. Let's keep it fun. And if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to smash the like button. It really does help out the channel get pushed out to new people and new friends. And we are going to have another video talking spoilers. I didn't get much into spoilers because there is so much to talk about. I wanted to keep this one spoiler free and as quickly as possible get out to you guys just to start the conversation. And then we can talk all the mind-boggling spoilers over the weekend. I'm very curious on your guys' thoughts, so let me know. And keep an eye out for that video with the spoilers coming out very soon. But thank you so much for watching and have a good day.